good afternoon, and good evening. I realize that uh, we are we are here from all across the world. So let me simply say good day. And it's pleasure to be here, and I'm happy to be here, sharing my journey with you, talking to you. What we will do is I will start with a very brief introduction of myself. And as I introduce myself, I can probably also talk about a little bit about my uh, journey till today, till here. And if you have, then I will just also briefly introduce Triple IT Delhi. That is the institute that I'm working with today. And then we can just enter into a dialogue. You have questions you can ask. I can share some stories, and I think that's what the format is about. As to how have we found Triz in our day-to-day experience, and we can discuss all of that. We can keep it pretty candid over there, and we can go like that. Would that work?
Yes, perfectly.
Perfect. So let me just take support of a few slides to to make it easy for me to, you know, talk about myself. Otherwise, one doesn't remember. So my name, as you know, is Anuj, and I am a VLSI designer by 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 function. Let us say. Okay, so I did my BTech from IIT Delhi in the year 2000, and right after my BTech, I joined ST Microelectronics. And in fact, I had joined ST Microelectronics as a summer intern and during my engineering days. And just after my graduation, I joined ST. A little bit into my uh, professional career, I realized that I really love this work. I really loved electronics designing, and that too VLSI designing. I am a memory designer, as you will see down below that I am a circuits designer. And I really loved the work that I was doing. And then it was very clear to me that if I really love the work that I do, I should get some additional, armament to better in my roles. And therefore, I went ahead and pursued masters, MS from University of California, San Diego. That was in 2000. So I worked for about 2 years and a little more than that. Then I went to the US, did my masters in electronic circuits and systems from University of California, San Diego. And then I came back because I knew that the work that I got to do at ST in Noida was equally good. So during my masters, I got to work mm, at the offices, few industries in the US. And I saw that the work that I get to do in Noida is exactly the same as I would get to do in the US. So for me, then coming back to India was a no-brainer, and I came back. And another 5 6 years, I was really relishing my work, and then I felt, yeah, I'm enjoying it so much. Why not go deeper? And that was when I started pursuing a PhD, which again I did from IIT Delhi, because by this time I was married, I had children, and again going to the US or anywhere else would have meant a huge disruption in my overall other arrangements in life. So I pursued, like I continued to work with ST and pursued PhD from IIT Delhi again. And in the process, so I started my PhD program, I think in 2010, and in 2011, yeah, or probably in 2010 itself. So I already see in the audience Nirmalya is here. So Nirmalya actually organized a talk on TRIZ uh, from some organization called QI. I don't even remember that. But that was when I got introduced to the concept of systematic innovation. I was scratching my head. Oh my God, there is a way to systematically innovate. Matlab, uh, creativity. So, uh, yeah, I had missed one detail. So all through this, so ST is one company which invests heavily in its people for training and everything. So ST made me, introduced courses like from creativity to innovation and many different kinds of behavioral and such courses to me. And I was so interested in creativity and innovation aspects that I actually became a trainer, a certified trainer for this training called From Creativity to Innovation. So I was like, wow, till now, all that I knew about creativity and innovation was that there are these brainstorming methods, there are these ways to look at problems, and these ways to expand your horizons, be more creative, and so on. But there is a systematic and algorithmic way to innovate. That was something new to me, and I was latched onto it immediately. And okay, that session was, I think, just about an hour, and Nirmalya can just add to it if there was anything more to it than it. That was just about an hour session, and uh, he Aditya was the name of the person. He talked about this book by Yuri Salmatov, which is Right Solution at the Right Time. So I checked with Nirmala. Nirmala had that book. I picked up that book from him, read it a little. I said, yeah, this is very interesting. So I actually ordered the book for myself. And it was fun. I read the book. It was really fun to realize that there is so much inventiveness that one can bring in one's day-to-day life. And so this was 2010. And that kind of set in me a thirst कि कुछ तो करना है, something I have to do. This is something which is very powerful, and I want to know more about it. So in 2011, PVN, I believe all of you know PVN, Narayan, and PVN somehow announced somewhere that there is this open workshop on TRIZ. My PhD had already started 2010 May, and I was like, and I had already read this right solution at the right time, and then the inventor appeared, and these books which are already freely available, I had read those books by then. So I went to the session. Now this was not a formal engagement with ST. ST did not pay for it, but I was like, even if ST doesn't pay for it, I want to learn it because I am interested in it. So I went to the session. I paid the full amount, and it was a huge amount at that time. A public workshop, the cost of TRIZ training is actually steep. But I still went ahead and do it. I did it. I said I want to learn, and I would want to use it. And I think probably because this thirst was already there, and then I had paid such a hefty amount from my pocket first for enrolling into the workshop, and then air tickets to Bombay. That was where the workshop was, the stay at Bombay, and everything. It was a very costly affair for me, so I wanted to use it, and I actually thoroughly used it in my PhD project. So it is rare, and it continues to be rare that a PhD project in a Indian academic institution would bring in patents, and that too so many of them. So during my PhD program, I filed 5 patents, and I would say all thanks to TRIZ. I would apply tools of TRIZ to the problem statement that I had. I would make the function model. I would do use the technical contradiction matrix. TRIZ level 1, that is what we are handling, physical contradictions. I would do just these basic tools, and I filed 5 patents during the course of my PhD. And see, once you taste the results of something which is important, you start to value it much more. So I valued TRIZ much, much more as my PhD progressed. So as the more I used TRIZ, the more I valued it. Uh, Initially, it felt very cumbersome. How to make a function model? Why do I need to make a function model? But see, in a PhD, you have to arrive at a new answer. So I anyway had to find a new answer. I had to be inventive in my approach, and I already paid that much. So I said, okay, I've already paid, so why not use the technique? Let me be a little bit more disciplined. So possibly the payment part or whatever, I do not know, uh, ensured that I was disciplined in my approach to problem solving, and it bore the results. Since I could see the results, since I could taste the results there, it kind of it acted as a virtuous feedback, a positive feedback that yes, you can be process oriented, and you can invent, and you can come up with solutions which are inventive and very powerful. And that was how I continued to use Triz even later. In fact, so much so that I was so excited and so exuberant about and around Triz that that I actually talked to my HR and I said that I have tasted this and I love it, and I would want all my colleagues to go through it. Now, Triz is not really meant for everyone from where I look at it. Triz is meant for people who are at a certain level of experience and understanding about the problem solving process. So either final year students in BTech or something like that, when you know a little bit of problem solving, I have handled it a little bit. And at ST again, we felt that not everyone needs to go through this, so we identified about 10-15 people to go for another public workshop. And no, not 10-15 people, I think 5 or 6 people. Another public workshop again organized by PVN. And so for my workshop, Sergey was the trainer, and this one, Shri was the trainer. And these guys came back, and probably because they had not paid for it themselves, ST had paid for them. I don't know. They were not very motivated to use stress. I had to follow up with them, and I had to push them, and I had to help them. Then what we did was we still, were committed to it, and we organized another in-house workshop again through PVN. And at ST, we had an in-house workshop where 15 to 20 more people got trained on stress. With this number, about 21, 25 people in the department who are trained on TRIZ, what we started to do was we started to have meetings. We started to discuss some problems and try find solutions to those problems by using TRIZ principles. These problems, at times were based on what silicon feedback we were getting. Like silicon feedback means we designed something, we put it on silicon. Now it gave us some results, which were either in line with our expectations or not in line with our expectations. Whatever it was, whatever it is feedback, and we started to work around it. And as we worked around as we used Triz, we could see that it was not just I who could come up with inventive answers. Those team members also could come up with inventive answers. So we filed a few more patents, and gradually people started to see that okay, it is valuable, at least for problems which are long pending or have been there for a long time now. These are uh, uh, Triz can be really very helpful. And so more people in ST started to use stress and so on. So by this time, I had also made up my mind that I would switch gears and move into academia. So after about 18 years at ST Microelectronics, which I thoroughly enjoyed, I switched over to academia full time. So I was already teaching some courses at Triple IT Delhi before that, but then I switched full time to Triple IT Delhi, and here I am now associate professor here, and I teach VLSI. That's what I've been doing past 20 years. So I teach VLSI to my students, and we do research on circuits and systems. Because I've been a memory designer, so memory design is something that I heavily work in. Uh, then I'm not sure how many of you are into electronics, but safety and security are some very key things that electronics needs to be aware of and using, because electronics is very pervasive today. We have it in our ATM cards, the chip that we have in our ATM cards, the ATM cards, credit cards, everything are chip based today. So what if this chip is not secure? Anyone could hack into it and could empty my bank account. So that's a scary thing to happen. So security is very, very important. We have digital passports, we have digitization everywhere. So hardware needs to be secure. Safety is a very different dimension, equivalent to security. Come to think of it, you're driving a car and you push the pedal for applying brakes because there was a old lady or a young child playing in front of you. India mein to you see that children are playing on the roads everywhere. So you press the pedal for applying brakes, but the electronics behind the system had a glitch. All of us have glitches in our laptops, in our electronic items, nahi? So the electronics over there also had a glitch, and instead of applying brakes, it applied acceleration. The consequences is fatal. You don't want that kind of a consequence to happen, is it not? You really, really do not want people to die. Automotive is that kind of an application, is it not? So safety in that context is also a very, very important aspect of electronics. So again, I am a memory designer through and through. So that is what I have been working on. Safety and security uh, for hardware, and primarily inside memories, how to make memories more secure, but not just memories, beyond memories also. So my while I have written it as other interests over here, but yeah, innovation clearly is one interest, which all of you know. And leadership is something that I am very heavily involved in. At ST, uh, you know, there's a very strong focus on developing people into leaders. And I was lucky to be a part of ST for so long, and we had huge, uncountable number of trainings to become a better leader, become a better human being, and so on. So this is something which is a passion for me, and I love to talk on leadership. I conduct leadership workshops, sessions, and so on. Last year, I conducted a 5-day workshop for AICTE on how one can lead oneself to excellence. If you do not know, then AICTE, that is the All India Council for Technical Education, conducts workshops which are free for all Indians. Or not, I would not say all Indians, for anyone in India. Okay, so you could just go to the AICTE website and look for ATAL, AICTE Training and Learning Platform, ATAL platform, and you can enroll to any workshop. And these workshops are on a range of topics, which are technical, non-technical, behavioral, leadership, entrepreneurship, you name it, and you have it. So I conducted a workshop on uh, um, last year on for AICTE on the Atal platform, which was very well received. And I would be conducting not okay. So the workshop that I plan to conduct this year will not be for Atal because they've kind of changed their format this year onwards. But I will still be conducting some leadership workshops this year also. And then I am also into well-being and self-growth. I think that our development, our growth is entirely in our hands. See, those of you who are students here might be thinking that, uh, you know, it is my professor's responsibility to teach me something. Mm, till you are a student and paying for your education, you can still assume it like that. But in reality, when you start to work, see, till the time you're a student and paying for your education, you are the customer. So you can still put some onus of your learning onto the other party. But once you start to do a job, then you are no longer a customer. Then you become a vendor. Then what happens is all of a sudden, as soon as you start your job, the tables turn. Till now, you would demand that, oh, my professor is not good. As soon as you start to earn the money, the person, your employer, starts to demand an output from you. And you have to be good enough now. So now, once you have to deliver, you may think that the learning is whose responsibility? Now it is no longer anyone else's responsibility. It is our own responsibility. So this was again a concept that I realized pretty early in my career at ST, and it did not occur to me naturally. It was again, shared to me or given to me by one of my senior mentors or something like that. And uh, since then, I realized that if I have to grow, I cannot depend on anyone else. It is my onus. It is my responsibility, and I therefore continue to read books, continue to expose myself to TED Talks and stuff like that, so that I grow as a human being, as a better person. And in terms of well-being, I am a volunteer with Isha Foundation. So I'm not sure how many of you have heard about Sadhguru Jaggi Vasudev, but uh, he has touched my life in a very, very meaningful way, in ways, in words that I cannot even, I cannot even describe the impact that he has had on me in words. And I invest heavily in my physical well-being, in my emotional and mental well-being, and also in my spiritual well-being. And I try to take his message also across, in as many platforms and as many forums as is possible for me. So yeah, that is another thing, another dimension that I'm very keenly interested in, and I continue to work on. Uh, so I have in terms of my introduction, I have a web page. You could go to my web page and look at the professional work that I'm doing. You can always email to me. You can also go to my YouTube page. Those leadership sessions that I talked about, this 5-day workshop that I conducted, and then these other leadership sessions that I keep on conducting every now and then, they're also available on my YouTube channel. If some of your electronic students and you want to learn more about VLSI, you may also find a few of my courses online. So, in fact, all my courses are available online and you could find them. And at Triple IT, I also teach a course on I also teach a course on creativity. So some of their lectures also you will find online. We also talk of a few TRIZ principles there, and you could find it interesting to go through those lectures also. You can follow me on my Twitter handle at the rate agrover22, or connect with me on LinkedIn. So that can happen. Uh, Let me also quickly introduce Triple IT Delhi, and then we can open the house for a kind of a discussion kind of a thing. So Triple IT Delhi is a state university. It was established by the government of Delhi in the year 2008. So in those terms, we are still a teenager, just a teenager now, 13 years old, into our 14th year. We are just a teenager. And even though we are so young, QS India ranked us at 41, and NIRF ranked us 55 in 2019. I think in the latest ranking, something happened. They ranked us 63, something like that. But we are still amongst the top 50, 60 institutes in the country, and that's no mean achievement for a very young institute like us. And there are, as of now, 7 BTech programs. We are thinking of launching another one, uh, uh, which is uh, which would be a specialization in EC. So I think Triple IT is the first in university in the country to launch programs which include CS education and programs like biosciences, so CS plus biosciences, or computer science plus design, or computer science plus social sciences, and so on. So I think we are the first university to do that. Others are starting to follow suit, but they are still only limited to CS plus AI. But we have a wide range of programs to suit tastes of different kinds of, all of us have different interests. So why should everyone be learning just CSE? Why not CSE plus social sciences, for example, which would talk about economics and management techniques and anthropology and all that? Why not CS plus design, which would talk about animation and video making and cartoon making and game theory and everything? Why not CS plus biosciences? Because it would talk about genomics and drug discovery and evaluating the CAT scans through by using intelligence, artificial intelligence, and so on. So a wide range of CS plus X options. And this year we will probably also start a electronics engineering with focus on VLSI design. So I'm very excited about it because I'm a VLSI faculty. So specialization in VLSI in electronics is some BTech program that we intend to launch this year. Additionally, we also have MTech programs. We have an MTech program in artificial intelligence, information security, data engineering, mobile computing. These 4 come under the computer science department. And then we have VLSI and embedded systems, machine learning, and cyber physical systems, which come under the electronics department. And then a MTech program in computational biology, which comes under the biosciences department. And those of you who may be interested to pursue a PhD, we offer PhDs across 6 different departments: computational biology, computer science, electronics, human-centered design, math, and then social sciences. So I think I've taken half of this slot just talking about myself, introducing myself, and then 2-3 minutes to introduce Triple IT Delhi to you. I'm open to questions and discussions, and please, the stage is all open. So Sandeep, people can unmute themselves and speak. Yeah, that right is just for me. I didn't know.
Hello, Sandeep sir.
Doesn't matter. If you have questions, just ask.
Certainly. Uh, Dr. Anuj, first of all, compliments to you. My name is Harshanangan. I am also a student of business trees in particular. So I have
Hmm.
completed 2 levels and pursuing the next level and also trying to apply the knowledge in my core field, that is cost and management accounting. So your story definitely encouraged me at yes, because just I was trying to find an analogy. I'm because I am a basically finance person and having a professional qualification in cost and management accounting, working with the factory setup from finance perspective.
Hmm.
And when I got to know about trees from Sri Fundis in our earlier organization, then I said, okay, I can blend this knowledge with my core knowledge, and then problem solving can be much more meaningful. So, compliments to you for using that knowledge and encouraging me that yes, I'm not thinking odd or I'm on the right path. Thanks for that.
Yeah. So Tris is a very powerful tool. At least in my experience, I've found Tris to be very, very powerful.
Yeah. And with that note, I have one small question about electronics and other things you were saying. Currently, I'm reading one book on the nanotechnology and how it will come in a big way. You know, so I'm trying to understand. So you are you are expert in that field. So how do you think that the rules of nanotechnology will we can use the trees methodology in nanotechnology application or whatever the development? Maybe from layman's perspective, if you can explain.
Yeah. So let us look at it like this. First, this nanotechnology, essentially, all of us are already using nanotechnology. The cell phone that you may have, the cell
Yes.
phone already has a chip which has nanotechnology used into it. Okay, so it's nothing new.
Okay. Okay.
Nanotechnology, it is because of this nanotechnology only that the world has changed the way it has.
Yes.
So that is one aspect of it. Another aspect of it that I would want to talk to you about is that these the companies that enable this nanotechnology, like Intel, like Samsung, like uh, Infineon or Freescale or all that, they already have been using TRIZ for so many years now.
Yes.
I remember Sergey sharing with us that he was felicitated by Samsung in 2002, 20 years back. He was felicitated by Samsung for using TRIZ in their manufacturing teams so that they could save, I think, पता नहीं कितने billion wons at that time, 20 years back.
Okay. Okay.
So, in fact, TRIZ is actually behind enabling nanotechnology in a very, very big way. It is not that TRIZ is not there. It is already there. It is already enabling. And the advancement in nanotechnology is hugely because of TRIZ. It is just that on the circuit design side or on the design side. So this is all about the manufacturing side. In the manufacturing side, Intel, you name it, and all these companies already use TRIZ.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. It is on the design side that people are not really aware
Okay.
because see, those who are on the process side, they already know that they have to follow the rules. They don't
Yes.
hesitate to follow the rules. TRIZ is very rule oriented. You have
Yes.
to follow a
Yes.
process, tuck, 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 and only then you will get the right result. On
Yes.
the design side, it is engineers like you, like me, who hate rules. So It is for people like us that we find Tris difficult to use, and we have not been using it as often. But once as I shared about myself, once you start to taste the results, you
Yes.
then get encouraged that okay, it does yield results, and we should use Tris more often, and then it helps.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Dr. Anuj. Thank you.
My pleasure. Thank you for the question. So I see RK has raised hand. Would you want to speak?
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
audible.
Yes, you are.
Yeah, okay. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. I think that Harsha has already mentioned, so I will not repeat that one. I will directly jump to the point. So, thing is that I was, very hesitant to take that trees training. I thought they what kind of, that ये कौन सा माया जाल है. So, but that when I took the training, I took the training from the Sri.
Hmm.
So you know that how what kind of person Sri is there. Even his each word is still in my mind. He is a kind of person. So that is the one. Now I just want to know what should means like a practice or like we should follow. Even now, recently I have delivered a project which has been kind of not possible with the conventional way. Okay, we did a couple of ideation and nothing can be work out. With the two ideation, we didn't get the weight reduction. Okay, just sorry,
Hmm.
just I'm not explaining the things because of
Yeah,
that
that's
company
fine.
policy. And
Yeah.
uh, the recently I got like the with the trees, it means you touch each and every part functionality. I could able to reduce the part count, reduce the cost, and reduce the weight. So just level one. So what you suggest me to how to go for the next level, and what kind of practice and things I should continue. This is just my first project, and yeah, as you said, I am as excited as you. But this could open many of things, means like it is all about the thinking here, and that is what they're saying in thinking process, am I right? So yeah, that is the feedback plus the other guys in a guys and or maybe ladies, whosoever, so they can get this thing to get used to, or maybe they could attract. Yeah, so
Okay. So, if I understand it correctly, what you're saying is that you have been using Triz and you are slightly confused as to if you should take the next step and do the next level of Triz or not. Did I get your question correctly,
Ye-
or did I
Yes,
misunderstand it?
I got that question. And what should be the level one? Means like when should I go with the level two, or since one or two project, or maybe the kind of guidance? Because first I was hesitant, and now I want to go with this one. Even
Okay.
very desperate to go with the two, and maybe if could uh, further also.
Hmm. So, how do I put it? I would say that um, level one and level two. So, level one simply teaches you very, very basic skills.
Okay.
Hmm? In level two, you get to know a few more skills around it. Level three finally tops it up with complete knowledge there. But I personally feel that level one is very, very powerful. मेरा पूरा PhD, my entire PhD, I did it while I was just level one. I did level two and level three only much later, and that was also with an intent to, start to talk about Triz and teach Triz to others. Because unless I know about all that is about Triz myself, how would I, help
E-
others with Triz knowledge? So
Exactly.
level one is actually very powerful within itself. Either you want to really make a career out of innovation, invention, and something like that, or you want to be a Triz teacher. Hmm. Either of these two cases, I would say immediately take a jump. If you are not clear about it, that I want to become a I want to become a mm, TRIZ
Yes.
or an innovation professional, or I want to teach TRIZ to others, then I would say take your time. You first become comfortable using level one tools, and when you feel that यार मजा तो आ रहा है लेकिन I would want to do more, then do the level two. So let it come
Yes.
naturally to you. Let that drive come naturally to you. Don't force.
Pers-
Do not consider it as I have to do level two. No, no, no. It's not like that. Level one is very, very powerful in itself. So
Yeah.
if you are satisfied with the way it is giving you results, great. If you think you would want, again, I tasted success with level one itself, and I was then intrigued and I wanted to do level two. At least
Yeah.
that was my story. So you have also tasted success. Once you do
Yeah.
a bit more of it, you will taste more success. Then let that desire come naturally. Don't ask others, should I do level two? No, let that urge come, and then you will do level two with a different kind of zest and zeal and passion.
Yeah. Yeah. That I got it. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
uh, yes. Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, great. So I do see there are some chat messages also. So any Triz learnings you would like to share today? Uh, so Triz learnings, I think I Ashish, you're saying something? Ashish, you want to add something? Okay. So, Amit, if you want to see the outcome of the experiments I did with Triz, they're all in the patents that I have filed. So you can find them on my webpage, my profile, and everything. Uh, in terms of my experience with Triz, I found it very interesting, and that is evident in the fact that I then went on to do level two, level three. I am talking about Triz to all of us over here in this forum. So, learnings in terms of outcomes you see in the patents. There's no point talking about going into details, technical details of patents over here. And we have too little of a time. Any patent would take at least half an hour to even discuss, to just set the context, what the problem is, what the solution is. It would take some time. And if I do it very fast, it will not make any sense to you anyways. So the patents are the outcome, which there are many, and experiences has been very powerful for me. That is why I'm here in front of you. Uh, and does that
Yeah,
mean anything for you, or does it just
I
running around?
want to I want to take one thing which I can apply right away. What would that be?
Um, I would say Triz has this. So I mentioned two books, and then the inventor appeared by General Altshuler himself, and Right Time by Yuri Salmatov. They were very, very powerful books. If you really want to learn even a little bit more about Trez, I would say pick up these. Both the books are freely available online. You can download them and you can read them. If you want to do some very quick fix problem solving, then you can use what is called as Trez matrix. But I would say don't just jump into the tools right away. First, understand the philosophy of Trez, and then there are many tools which are readily available online. You can use them. So Triz matrix is another thing that you could use, but I would say use it only after knowing more about Triz, after reading Altshuler, after reading that Yuri Salmatov's book. It's very exciting.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
Very right, Anuj. It is very important to have a right direction before solving the problem.
Yeah, yeah. Problem solving is important, But so Sampada has also asked the very similar question: how do you recommend reducing Triz practices to UG students? So Sampada, I have been teaching Triz to my students at IIIT Delhi in their sixth or eighth semester. So third year and final year students take my course, and that is their sixth or eighth semester. And MTech students and PhD students also take this course at IIIT Delhi. And but there is no such limit. People can start to learn TRIZ even when they are in school. But it's not about TRIZ tools per se. It's about the philosophy of how to solve problems, how to look at problems in in the way an inventor does. So it's anyone can do it. I teach it at in semester 6 and semester 8 for my students at Triple IIT Delhi. But I don't think that's a limitation. Even if first and second year students would want to do it, I would not stop them. Just that they do not have the scope in terms of electives in first and second year. First and second year, they're usually completely swamped with core coursework, so they don't have the flexibility to use stress to do this course. Otherwise, I would not stop them, even if they were in first or second year. Okay.
Okay. I
Um,
have a connected question. Hi, Anuj.
yes.
So, do you have a session recorded on your YouTube, which is basically introducing the philosophy which students could be prepped up with before we even start talking about it to
Yeah,
them?
yeah, yeah. Yeah. You will you go to my YouTube channel, you will find this introduction to TRIZ session there.
All right, I'll use
It's
it.
I think it's a 1.5 to 2 hour session. So all my sessions usually are that long. As soon as I enter into a subject, I end up taking a lot of time. So
That's fair enough. Okay,
yeah,
thanks.
yeah. Thank you for this question. So I see Sadashiv has raised his hand.
S- Anuj, I have a question that when you look at the trends of engineering system and the
Hmm.
memory chip already going through nano, what is the next level of technology which TRIZ
Oh,
directs?
It's already moved beyond now. Now it's already moved to 3D. Other dimensions would appear. It's
Hmm.
already there. More integration would happen.
Now,
So
can you explain in a layman language? I'm not an electronic
okay,
engineer. So what is a
okay.
3D
So
thing? Hmm.
yeah. So typically you see this memory. This is a chip. Okay.
Hmm. Yeah.
And the memory would be designed on this
Okay.
at the surface of this. So I was talking to a friend in Micron a few days back, and he shared with me that the NAND flash that you have in your phones,
Hmm.
hmm, that today the ones that Micron supplies has 176 stories built.
My goodness.
176 stories is on the surface of this chip.
My goodness.
So it's already 3D.
But then will
Anyways,
it go to gaseous also later on?
it's already there is also photonics based ICs
Okay.
already.
Okay.
So ऑलरेडी फील्ड बेस्ड हो रहा है
Hmm.
गैसियस आ जाएगा
Okay. Great.
है ना
Great.
already field based is there. You have photonics chips. This phone that we have, it has a lot of photonics already embedded onto it, but yeah, communication in terms of photonics communication is also happening. And ST, in fact, for example, is a leader in photonics chips also. So I know that photonics is also happening in a big way.
Mm-hmm.
So the trends
Now,
are being followed.
my next question comes to you like an HR professional that when you teach somebody, what we
Mhm.
see in industry is that understanding knowledge is one thing, but when it comes to application of knowledge, which is the real way we get return on investment, what do you
Mhm.
think trees can do it in that direction? Means how will we help people or students in applying the knowledge? Which methodology of trees, rather, what is the problem you will solve through trees tools, which will help that?
See, now this is a very pertinent question because probably I also do not have the final correct answer here. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
can just share what my experience has been and what I
Okay.
think could be the right approach.
Mm-hmm.
And we have to experiment and arrive at the right answer.
Okay. Okay.
And that is how it is with humanities. No? With people, behavioral sciences, it is always you have a hypothesis, you experiment, and then you say, oh, this hypothesis was not exactly correct. There is something wrong. We need to update it, and so on. So, see, in my understanding, TRIZ requires a lot of discipline.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. So if you ask just about anyone to take up a TRIZ course and then apply TRIZ, not going to work.
Mm-hmm.
People who are pushed to the wall, they don't have an answer. They've tried everything. They still don't have an answer.
Mm-hmm.
Send them to do a TRIZ training. Okay.
No, but if you really look at feature transfer of trace, what it does that you import something and ready-made fit it on something to get the answer. So if there is an
It sounds
individual
very
who has
exciting.
three skills and one missing, why don't we use a feature transfer type of thing? Then with your memory chip type of thing, get that knowledge ready-made available. Maybe he can do that job.
It sounds very interesting.
Hmm.
What we miss in this thing is, see, even when we do level 3, Trust feature transfer is shown as a wow, such a beautiful solution. Go ahead
Mhm.
and do it once,
Yeah.
and you will see there are so many secondary problems that come.
Yeah.
It's not simple. It sounds very simple.
Mhm.
Hmm? So when you're really working in the industry and want to come out with a product which would make sense and which would sell, then feature transfer is just an idea. To really implement it takes a lot of effort.
Yeah, but see, your
It's
institute is doing computation education along with biosciences. Will you not think that probably you guys can decode it?
yeah. So we are using it.
Mm-hmm.
What I see, your question was very different.
Mm.
Your question was, how can I make TRIZ very useful and popular and get the ROI from TRIZ in an industrial setting? Because
Correct.
it's an HR question.
Yeah.
So Triple IT could do it, yes, because that's the DNA of Triple IT.
Mm-hmm.
Is regular industry like that? No. In a regular industry project, you have a timeline.
Mm-hmm.
That I want an output within 6 months. There's a customer
Mm-hmm.
waiting within 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
How much of feature transfer can you really think of?
No. I see. Instead
If
of
you
feature
really want to think
transfer,
of feature transfer,
no,
if
no,
you
no,
really
sir.
think of even function oriented search or anything of that sort,
No. When I said bioscience, you are right that feature transfer comes with a lot of secondary problem. Bioscience means you will evolve a solution which will have very minimal secondary problems. Means you will use the live process
So we
itself
are a
in
research
that
institution.
individual to solve the issue.
Till the time you're talking about research, all this
Mm.
makes a lot of sense.
Mm.
When you talk of industry, I'm assuming you're talking about customers also
Yeah,
who
yeah,
want the result.
yeah.
There is a timeline. That is where the challenge comes.
Mm-hmm.
Because that is where your managers will say, oh, we have to finish the project in 6 months. I can't give you 2 years to solve this problem, to do the feature transfer successfully.
Mm-hmm.
That is where the projects get killed.
Okay. Okay.
You have to define, if it is a problem where the person has really tried everything else and nothing has worked,
Mhm.
they still want an
Okay.
answer. Then nothing
Okay.
has worked. They are just stopgap arrangements we are giving to the customer. We really need an answer. That is when the management is ready to commit and sponsor a research project also.
Mm-hmm.
That is when it will work.
Okay.
If you just wanted to show to someone that "Dekho, we are following TRIZ,"
Mm.
no one would use TRIZ.
Okay.
At least that's what my experience has been.
Yeah. Right. So, thank you.
That's a
So
really
there
great
has to
answer
be
and
real
very
need.
comprehensive
There
as
has
well,
to be real
Anuj.
need.
So
Thank you.
I would just like, because only 7-8 minutes are remaining. So if there are some more questions, we would be able to accommodate in this.
Yeah, I
Mr.
see Nirmalya has
Nirmalya,
his
it
hand
seems,
raised.
yeah,
Yeah, Nirmalya
Nirmalya's
has his
hand
hand
is
raised.
raised. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah. So actually, I would like to.
We missed you, Nirmalya. Voice is not coming. You're on mute.
Yeah. No, I wanted to respond to actually Sadashiv's question because what he is asking is where actually my work is. So just to give a the background, my work is with the people and the processes. So and it actually transfers the domain of HR, OD, and all those things. And I use TRIZ very bluntly. I mean, left and right, not saying I'm using TRIZ, because then it opens another Pandora box. But yeah, so just to answer Sadashiv's question, look, what happens is that understand the philosophy of the TRIZ first, because all those feature transfer has a very, very beautiful philosophy behind that. And if you go by the first principle, what I typically use and it solves 90% of my problem is that look at the space separation, look at the time separation, look at the part separation. And where I do is that I do problem solving in terms of process and in terms of people. So whenever you look at the process, you look at those, how you can resolve those processes using those techniques. Furthermore, you can go to the contradiction matrix also, but that most of the time it is not needed. And then you can add other tools from like design thinking, customer focus, and all those journey into that. And believe me, that works like, I mean, very, very fast and quick, where you can actually showcase the ROI to the organization, because otherwise they will not pay you. So that is what I just wanted to come up. And then also you have to work on the self, what Anuj is saying, because when you are working with the people without working on your own self, it will not work. So with the people and the process, use the self and the trees and other techniques. Actually, it was miracle. So I just wanted to add to that. And there is
Thank you, Nirmal.
a complete
Yeah, thanks
activity.
for adding it, Nirmalya. And I think Dr. Prakash Patil has got one more question. So
Yeah,
baby shape to him.
sure, sure.
Dr. Prakash, please unmute yourself and ask your question. Dr. Prakash, are you with us? Okay, Isha, till then we can take a question from Isha Srivastava.
Anuj, you have already mentioned the names of book. Can you put it in chat? I just couldn't follow the book's name.
Okay, so Hemant has already put in a few books names there. I will also write
Okay.
the ones that I mentioned,
Okay.
and then the inventor appeared.
So only possibility I see people in Pune attended.
I'm sorry, what was the question there?
Your voice is very low.
So Isha, I put
Yes.
both the names in the chat window now.
Okay. Thanks a lot, Anuj.
Yeah.
Any other question? We can have a few quick questions. We still have 4 minutes.
Yes, Prakash, please. We're not able to hear you yet.
May I request you to put your question on chat then?
So Akhilesh has asked about what software do you recommend? So I don't know. I've not really used any professional software for Triz yet. Been using a beta version of another software called Tech Optimizer. It's not available outside. So I can't comment on which software to use, Akhilesh. If you know of something, please enlighten me also.
Okay, basically we with Gentries use one software which is basically used for doing the facilitation of whatever we are doing. So as we
Mhm.
know, it is very cumbersome and at times very iterative process. In this,
Yeah,
this software do help us, but this is not freely being sold. It is we just give it across when someone gets a
that's a
training from
course.
us.
Yeah, level
Yeah,
three,
yeah,
level three training. Yes.
right. Not level 3, but now we can provide it from level 1 also. 1 month it will be free, but later we'll have to charge whatever the prevailing
Okay.
cost would be. But it is a nominal cost. It's not bit very high.
Okay. So, okay, so Dr. Prakash had the question, which was like, what are the research challenges in photonics and how TRES will be useful? So, I'm sorry, I'm not an expert in photonics, so I do not know what are the most recent and upcoming research challenges in photonics. We'll have to read about it and then I can probably comment on it. Uh, but what I do understand is that TRIZ is very powerful, and by looking at what contradictions are leading to the problem there, what contradictions are leading to that, challenge there, we can definitely find some answers. So TRIZ is very powerful. That I'm confident of. That we can use TRIZ to find answers to the whatever challenges there are. That again, I'm very confident of. But what are those challenges? I'm not a subject matter expert. I can facilitate a session on that, but I cannot give you the challenges, list down the challenges in this domain to you. I'm so sorry for that.
Rather, it is a right answer. And if I have to add something, every problem or most of the problem rather are can be dropped down to 39 engineering parameters.
Yeah.
So any problem, if you are able to relate it with this, yes, there is there to help you out.
So if there are no
Yeah,
more
so finally
questions,
we
I
have
think,
reached
yeah.
to 5 o'clock. If there are some more questions, we are really happy to answer it. But it would
Yeah,
be
you
a quick
can.
last question, or else Anuj has already shared his details, and we
Yeah.
are also in touch with you. Any kind of query, please let us know. It will also help us to get the new speaker. Now, this was the fifth speaker in this TRIZtalks series, and of course, on 24th June we will be coming up with one more fabulous speaker, and stay tuned for that. And till then, if you have any kind of queries, any kind of feedback, please share it with us. Your feedback will help us to make our program better and better.
Yeah, and if you have, so I'm again displaying my contact info there. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to write to me. If you want to watch any of those videos, please do share your feedback about this session and about me, and I would be happy to hear from you.
Even this session is recorded, and we'll be sharing this link with you as well.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, everyone. It was a pleasure interacting with all of you, and we will stay in touch. Just you can connect with me on Twitter, on LinkedIn, and it would be a good way to stay in touch. All the best. Bye bye. Thank you, Sandeep, for having me here, and I really enjoyed myself. Thank you again.
Yeah. Anuj, I know how busy you are, but still you spared the time. I'm really thankful to you, and I'm
Oh,
sorry if I have bothered you a lot during this course.
no, 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 no,
Yeah.
please.
So I think with this, we are into this program and this chapter, and stay tuned for chapter 5. As I mentioned, it will be on 24th of June. We'll keep you posted who is going to deliberate his experiences over there. Have a great day ahead. Have a great month. And after that, we are going to see you again.